once went out into the cold with lists and hope and time. We wandered shops and paid too much and called that trial a sacred taste. What the Frock is going on here, we may not know, but still we cheer. Raise your voice, your glass, your brow, because the Frock is happening now. Now with a click, the work is done. The box arrives in 2 short days. The gift is neat, the process clean, yet something vital slips away. A billion slips through open hands, in daylight signed and stamped and sent. They called it care, they called it aid, and asked us not where money went.
Good morning, America. How are you? I'm Rabbi Dave, and, well, happy holidays. Or merry holidays, depending on what you prefer.
Good morning, the world. I'm expanding our horizons today. I want to go this next year. I'm Friar, and I'm ready for this one.
All right, gather round, all you saints and sinners. Today we're going to ask you a simple but dangerous question. Has Amazon ruined Christmas? Or did it just expose us for who we really are? Because once upon a time, when I was a young rabbi, holiday shopping involved cold weather, but then again, I grew up in Colorado and Utah, bad parking, and a vague sense of moral obligation. You wandered, you searched, you overpaid, you told stories about it later on. Now, you just click a button, track the shipment, and feel nothing but mild relief and perhaps a little wrist fatigue. Amazon did not sneak down our chimney. We invited it in. We offered it cookies, and we asked it if it could please deliver joy in 2 business days or less. And it said, sure. But joy is not Prime eligible. So tonight, we're not here to dunk on convenience. We're here to ask whether speed has replaced meaning, whether efficiency has eaten ritual, and whether Christmas has quietly become a subscription service that we forgot to cancel. There are no easy answers here, despite Bill's response. There are no nostalgia gluggles. There are just 2 men in questionable clothing asking whether the ghost of Christmas shopping past is rolling its eyes at us from a mall food court in 1987. Click fast, think slow. Let's answer the question, has Amazon ruined Christmas?
I'm going to say...
I'll insert some
okay. As we flash back in the Scooby-Doo style of the world. I don't think so. I think it's changed Christmas. But you got to remember, too, that COVID changed behaviors as well, right?
That's an interesting idea. So it's the government that fucked up Christmas.
Well,
or is it even really fucked up? That's the big question. All right. So nostalgia is one of those things, Rod, that in the big scheme of things,
yeah,
nostalgia is almost never reality.
No.
So I am nostalgic for the National Football League that I grew up with, which was not the game that's played today.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. There's a meme going around, a video going around about the intro to, was it the 1978 NFL on CBS intro? Have you seen this? And it's like, everything in this clip is now illegal, which is kind of true, but also not kind of true, because there's actually at least 2 of the plays that they show that were penalties. In fact, the famous Cleveland Browns, and I forget who the player was, who basically body slams on his head Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
That got that guy ejected and fined. And it also won him the cheers of everybody in the nation, because everybody except outside of Pittsburgh hated Terry Bradshaw back then. We still do, but at least now he's just a doddering old man who can't talk right.
He's funny, though.
Is he?
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree on that. So there's this nostalgia that I have for that era of football, but was it really that great? We still complained about officiating. We still complained about the same things we complain about today. The ticket prices are outrageous. Parking at the stadium is bad. So it's this vision that I have of what it used to be versus what it is now. And in the same way, the holidays are the same thing. Now, for those of you who don't know because you haven't been keeping up with the show or you didn't get the joke or whatever, I grew up as the son of Salvation Army officers, ministers. And if you're at all familiar with the Salvation Army, and you should be, you know that this time of year, they are ubiquitous. They are everywhere, including at Publix markets, with the kettles and the little dingy bells.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. I grew up doing
Saying
that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Holding doors. I grew up doing that. When I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, that's how I made my Christmas money, was going out and working kettles for my dad.
You and your little dinghy?
Me and my little dinghy. I did, however, never try to stab a store manager with the kettle stand. So,
well, you weren't raised in Florida, so.
This is true. I am not a Florida man. Anyway, so long story short, I have this nostalgia for the holiday that is different than most people's. For us growing up, and of course, while I was in the Navy, it wasn't that big of a deal, but after I got out of the Navy, I became a Salvation Army officer for about 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. And so for me, the holiday season, basically from the day after Thanksgiving and now the week before Thanksgiving, all the way to the day after Christmas, is just work. Mm-hmm. They are 12 to 17-hour days. And Sundays, you didn't get a break because Sunday is church day, so now you got to go do that. And I was trying to explain to one of my stepkids the other day about who was throwing a hissy fit because it was Christmas Eve and they wanted to open Christmas presents. Why can't we do it now? Because it's not Christmas and your mom's not here and blah, 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 blah. What are you in such a hurry for? And then I had to explain to them that in my family, growing up, we actually didn't open Christmas presents until Christmas night because we simply didn't have time.
Yeah.
So we do all this work, Christmas kettles and Christmas gifts and giving and all that stuff all the way up through the 24th. And then on the 25th, we'd have to go do a big homeless dinner in downtown Denver. So I'm 13, 14, 15 years old, and I'm spending my Christmas morning playing in the band down at this Christmas dinner feeding homeless people. Then we get home, usually around, 5, 6 at night. Everybody's exhausted. Everybody's just like,
all right, let's open the gifts.
Now we get to open gifts. And this went on even in my own world. When I was a Salvation Army officer, I didn't have kids, so it didn't really matter that much. But it was the same thing. So I have this nostalgia for it. But at the same time, I also very much remember going shopping. And I'm old enough to remember before there were malls. Mm-hmm. And then the malls became a thing. In fact, in my hometown of Ogden, Utah, we had all these storefronts down on Main Street that they knocked down the interior walls to, and they turned that into the mall, the Ogden City Mall, mm-hmm. which you can actually see in is it Tiffany that redid the song, I Think We're Alone Now? Part of that is filmed at that mall.
Okay.
And you can see the sign and everything. So anyway, I'm used to both. I'm used to the 1950s, 1960s, early 70s, holiday thing, and I'm used to the mall thing. And Amazon has changed that.
Yeah.
COVID, I guess, changed it too, although I think it was changing before that, wasn't it?
I think it was, but I think it accelerated with COVID. So, for me, and then you've got also, too, you got to remember that a lot of people who went to remote work also moved. They moved away from larger cities at that point in time. So that you've got this dispersion of the people all around. And so Amazon made it really easy to order gifts for them, right? go online, order gifts. Hey, wait, for a couple bucks more, I can get it gift wrapped, right? Have it gift wrapped and have it show up at their door. So, I know that that's part of the factors for it. But for me, okay, I don't know if it's just a guy thing, but I'm not a huge fan of walking out during Christmas time and shopping at all the department stores. Never been a fan of that. If my wife hears this shouldn't be news to her. So for me, I'm like, oh, okay, let me look online. What can I get online? Can I get it when I need it? Sure. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and order it.
Okay. But doesn't that kind of take away from there used to be a time when you gave a gift with a story. Oh, I was at this little shop in this little place somewhere else, and I saw this, and I immediately thought of you. Doesn't that kind of go away now?
No, because you could still say, I was just browsing the Amazon pages, and
right.
I saw this gift
and thought of you.
It immediately made me think of you. Yeah.
Plus, it was on sale. And I got it with Prime now.
Well, so the Prime stuff, I mean, is super beneficial because when you look at, I think one year we bought all of our kids' gifts, and my oldest and her family live in Georgia, and we got them all shipped here, and then we put them in a big box, and then we shipped it off, and I'm like, how stupid is that? How stupid is that? We just paid, I don't know how much money to put everything in another box to ship it after we've already paid.
But you personalized it. Isn't there something to that, hey, my dad actually touched this box. He actually put this in this box for me. Isn't there something to that?
And so I know Dylan's going to listen to this. So if they really wanted that personalization, they shouldn't have moved to Georgia.
Yeah, 3,000 miles away. Okay. Well, I guess they could.
I let them know.
I don't know, man. Look, all of this started because I did something that I don't normally do. I certainly haven't done in the years since I'm no longer a minister.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I am a rabbi. Yes, I am ordained. I have the certificates. But again, go back to the beginning of the show, and you'll understand why.
Yeah.
I have not gone shopping on Christmas Eve for anything more than a six-pack of Dr. Pepper or something in 20 years.
Yeah.
There was something about it that whether it's the traffic, I don't mind the crowds as much, although I will tell you that crowds have changed. Crowds used to be manageable. They used to be, you bump into somebody, excuse me, that's all gone. Yeah. All of that is just, everything is now, how dare you, or, I've gotten to the point now when I do go do stuff like that, I wear headphones. Even if they're not plugged in or turned on, I just wear headphones.
That's
so
funny.
That I can basically just ignore people. Anyway, so this year I did some, for reasons that go beyond the scope of this discussion. We had decided we were not going to go shopping this year. All we were going to do was just put money in cards and do that. There's a lot of stuff happening in our lives right now. So I went to the bank, which is at the mall. Get the bank, go to pull the money out, and we're going to put $25 in each one. You with me here?
Mm-hmm.
But the ATM only gives you $20 bills.
Okay.
So, since I'm at the bank anyway, and I'm not going to tell you which Bank of America it was, I decided that, look, I've been with this bank that I'm not going to tell you which Bank of America it is, since 1982. I opened this account in 1982 in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I was a brand new sailor. And I've had the same account since 1982. The bank itself has changed names 7 times,
mm-hmm.
but I still have the same account. So anyway, I go inside because I want change, right? Change for a $20 bill. So I could get 2 10s. That's not going to work. I could get a 10 and 2 5s. That's not going to work. I need 4 5s.
Yeah.
I could get 21s. Whatever. I just need change at a bank.
They don't like handling money.
I get to the counter after standing in line because there's a line, and I kind of figured, well, I'm better off waiting in the line than I am, going somewhere and trying to spend exactly $3 getting the change from that. And I put the $20 bill on the counter and said I'd like 4 5s for this. And this guy in a really ill-fitting suit with a tie that's improperly tied and not snugged up all the way, and his jacket unbuttoned, looks at me and says, "Can you put your card into the computer system there so I know who I'm dealing with?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Why? I just need change. I'm not conducting a transaction, am I?" So apparently it turns out that to earn that $14 they charged me a month since 1982 for this account, apparently they have to know who I am before they can give me change for a $20 bill. So I did, and I left then they sent me a thing in the email saying, "Can you review your recent transaction?" Which I did, and explained to them that I don't need to give you my ID for change. Anyway, as I walk out of the bank,
you could have gone to the grocery store for that, actually.
Could have, yes. And in retrospect, perhaps I should have. But as I walked out, I looked to my left at the parking lot of the mall and realized, suspiciously, that we have a grocery store in the mall, and I needed some Dr. Pepper for my son. Well, I'm going to go take care of this now because it seems like the parking lot is not full. This is Christmas Eve at about 11 o'clock. So I went over there, and then for reasons that go beyond this, I realized that I did want to get my wife something.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, I'll just walk through the mall real quick, wandering, wondering, muttering under my breath, looking for something by accident.
You needed to get your steps in anyway, right?
I needed to get steps in anyway, so I thought, well, I'll just go do this. Yeah. I'll put up with it for half an hour. Who cares? The place was dead. I mean, dead. I mean, deader than it is normally when I go to walk. If the gym is closed, I go there. And it was like abandoned. All the stores were open. There was busyness. There were people buying stuff, but it was like, I don't know. I started realizing that I wonder if, as I tried to find something for my wife, if I shouldn't have ordered it on Amazon. Maybe I would have found what I was looking for on Amazon, because I didn't even really know what I was looking for. And Amazon, when I open it up, Amazon Prime now says, "Hey, here's some suggestions for you." Bing! I get texts.
And your family members can make lists of things that they are interested in.
God, let's not give them any more ideas. So, anyway, because I know you care, I did find something.
Did you?
And not only did I find something, but it was 50% off.
Well, there you go.
And I had it right in my hands right then. I didn't have to wait till the next day for Amazon Prime. So, and she really liked it. But I don't know. Am I missing the nostalgia of this? And is this because of Amazon, or is there something else happening here? I remember Christmas Eves, especially Christmas Eve mornings, as being just crazy busy.
Yeah, the grocery stores were busy. Because I went because my wife, who needed to get gift cards for her family members and cards, she was going to go do that. I'm like, no, I'll go. I need to go to the store anyway to get one thing I forgot for dinner the next day.
It's always the French cut green beans for me.
It wasn't quite that, but I'm like, I'll go. So here I am, the proverbial man going to get the last minute Christmas gifts that weren't even his. So I go in and the store was pretty busy. But when you talk about nostalgia, Dave, so my first job was at McDonald's here in Oakdale. And then as I graduated high school and I got into management at McDonald's, they transferred me to the mall, in part because my wife and I were both managers and they didn't want us working at the same store. But working at the mall McDonald's, I got to experience Christmas rush. And so the nostalgia of being at the mall at Christmas are memories of being there at McDonald's and dealing with the crowds and the rush. So,
was it different than the crowds are today? I mean,
I think so. uh, a lot of people, even when they shop at like Target and whatnot, a lot of people are just ordering stuff online and having it pulled out to their car.
Picking up.
Yeah.
That's half of our Target parking lot here is pull up for delivery. We'll bring it right out to your car. Car, not your card. That wouldn't make sense. Well, maybe it is a card that they're bringing to your car. I don't know. It has certainly changed, but is it ruined? Is it 30 years from now? Will my son be nostalgic for a time when he could just order whatever he wanted or ask me to order whatever he wanted on Amazon because something else has come along? I don't even know what the next thing would be.
I think the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha are starting to trend back towards malls and to shopping in person and things like that. I think they are anti-technology, and I know for certain anti-AI in most cases.
Yeah, it's my son.
Well, my youngest is. She doesn't want anything to do with it.
I guess it expands into other things. I mean, I love Amazon for books. I mean, you know me, I'm a book guy. I love used books, and I love used bookstores. But we're down to one used bookstore now in the entire area. I got to drive 40 miles to get there. And then, of course, they have a crappy parking lot. But I do miss going to bookstores. I miss just going and sitting in a bookstore, especially one that had, coffee, not a Starbucks necessarily, but, the Barnes & Noble has a Starbucks.
Well, I even worked at Walden Books in the mall for a number of years.
Books.
I loved working there. Not having to deal with hungry people was fantastic.
Just the things you could find at Walden Books was just so wild. It was. So is it ruined? I guess that's my question. And I'm somewhere between, did Amazon destroy something sacred, or did it just reveal what we valued all along, which is ease over meaning? And I'm just asking that for a friend, or maybe three ghosts.
It could be. It could be. I think times are just different, and so what our kids will be nostalgic for will be something else. It'll be something maybe more personable, maybe the added time that we had as a family together at the house versus having to pile into the car and try and find a stupid parking space at the mall, and then trying to fight the crowds and wait in line. And nobody likes standing in the Kohl's line. I'm just saying, I'm telling you that right now. Nobody.
Especially me. I don't care how many Kohl's bucks you have. I don't know. But you know what they say? Times change, and we are changed by them.
So are we live on Facebook?
You know what? Did I not lock that down again?
I have no idea.
My God. Did I forget to do that again? So I forgot to do that last time. We were live on Facebook, and
I saw people commenting.
Normally I lock it down because I don't want people. Look, the Facebook live thing is just a different way of recording it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So we use four methods of recording. We're a double ender. I record me. Rod records him. We have the Zoom recording. We have that recording. So did I leave it live again?
No, I have no idea.
It's locked out. No, okay. It's locked out. So nobody's seeing. Anyway, last week I left it on accidentally, and people were apparently partaking in the show, but I didn't know because I thought I had locked it down.
I just saw the comments afterwards. That was pretty funny.
Which is, that does raise an issue about the new year. Should we perhaps do it live?
Would that take away from our podcast numbers?
I don't know. And see, those are the things we talk about later. Who knows?
Well, but we don't have a Facebook page anymore, though, right?
No, we don't. But that could change. I mean, based on our listening numbers, people are apparently coming back. So maybe we should reconsider that in the new year. Can you imagine right now if Tim Walz was actually the vice president of the United States? Tampon.
I'm sorry. Who? Sorry.
Tim Walz. Okay. He is the erstwhile governor of Minnesota, and there's actually a betting site, which, as much as I talk about betting, I don't really do a whole lot of. I think I've placed 2 sports bets in the last 5 years. Okay. So take what I say about betting for entertainment purposes only. there is a betting site that has Tim Walz running at 78% likely to get a felony charge before the year is out, before 2026 is out, over all this stuff that's going on. Now, for those of you like Rod who have been under a rock, Minnesota has a significant population of Somali immigrants, to the point where a couple of years ago, the Minnesota state flag was changed.
I remember that, yeah.
And if you look at the new Minnesota state flag and the Somali national flag, you're going to go, wait, isn't that the same thing? We have a congresswoman, part of the squad, what's her name, Ilhan Omar, who has publicly said that she works for the Somali government. There is a lot of brouhaha going on here with this Somali thing, and now over the past 2 weeks it has come out that literally hundreds, if not billions of dollars have been stolen through Somali fraud in the state of Minnesota by faking child care systems. And this was done basically with the full knowledge, or at least intentional ignorance, of the state government of Minnesota, led by one Tim Walz.
Yeah.
And the question is, Rod, why isn't this story bigger? Not a single mainstream media, which is a phrase I hate, has covered this story at all. And it's been out there since before Christmas.
I think that there's twofold, right? You've got a bunch of people of color, and you've got Islamic people.
That's part of the reason for the original fraud was the people who were investigating the original fraud as much as 2 years ago were told that if they continued to do so, they would be accused of racism.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
Islamophobia. Yeah. So now you've got independent journalists running around knocking on doors at these alleged child care centers saying, why are there no kids here?
Yeah. Well, there's health care too.
Yeah. It's insane. But can you imagine if Tim Walz was the vice president of the United States right now? Why aren't the Republicans saying more about this? Why aren't Republicans pointing this out? Why aren't Republicans saying this is insane? There is a town in Minnesota, a city in Minnesota, that wanted to build a water treatment plant, needs a water treatment plant. There's no money to do it. Hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion, stolen by Somali fraud. Are there no Republicans in Minnesota? Then you get into the whole thing about there was a debate in the Minnesota State Legislature last year about health care for illegal immigrants. And there was one Democratic senator or two Democratic senators who opposed it.
Yeah.
And basically stopped it. And then one of them got shot dead. Coincidence? Or did she know what was coming?
I don't think it's coincidence.
I don't either. The question becomes, why isn't this story bigger? Now, here in Washington, this story is becoming bigger every single minute of the last probably 3 days. Because it turns out that many of these front companies in Minnesota, these healthcare, childcare LLCs in Minnesota, were funneling money to a candidate here in Washington State.
That's huge.
Who was Somali and was running for a local post in King County.
That's organized crime.
It not only is it organized crime, but it gets bigger because this candidate, realistically speaking, the only reason she didn't win was because she got caught making a bomb threat on a public bus. And it's on video, and her opponent was savvy enough to go, oh, hey, it's not racist to point out the fact that she made a bomb threat on a bus. And she didn't lose by a lot.
Yeah.
So this money obviously had a connection here. Now we're finding that there may be some of these child care businesses here.
If it's a pattern that works in one state, why wouldn't it work in others? And that might be why some of the Republicans are quiet.
Well, and that raises that question. What do they know and why aren't they saying anything? Bigger question. Where's Donald Trump on this?
Well, hasn't ICE been raiding Somali stuff?
They have been, but isn't this the kind of thing that Trump would normally... I mean, I know he posted on Truth the other day about bombing Nigeria, but...
On Christmas.
On Christmas, yeah. But nothing that I've seen, and maybe I missed it, it's possible, about the Somali thing. Why isn't this a bigger story? Why is it being completely ignored in the legacy media? I mean, it's just not even, you can't find anything about it. But it's all over X. It's all, are we going to get this is just a bunch of conservative right-wing lunatics, MAGA people who are making all this up? Well, then, if we're just making it all this up, how hard would it be able to prove that we're not? Show us the money, as the man once said. Wouldn't that be an easy thing to do? Look, here's the proof. This money went to this, not to that. Why are these people sending donations? See, now we're into the whole thing about politics and political money, and do corporations have... Look, I don't like Hillary Clinton at all. I think Hillary Clinton is the very definition of evil, but she wasn't wrong about the Supreme Court allowing corporations to give money to politicians.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to like that, but you want to know why our politics is so screwed up?
Follow the money.
Because I can give $1 to my local politician, but some Somali business in Minnesota can give $5,000. And that's legal, at least on the surface of things.
Well, isn't it a write-off for them, too?
Yeah. Can be. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it ain't. Pat the lawyer would know. Anyway, the bottom line is, I don't understand why this isn't a bigger story. Is it just because it's Christmas? Is this going to hit big? To the Democrats, this has to be a problem because the 2026 midterms are all about, quote-unquote, affordability. And if affordability is being impacted by $1 billion being stolen in Minnesota, that's not going to play well for them, is it? It can't. So is that why it's being suppressed? I don't know. I don't know why it's not a bigger story.
It's probably being suppressed in light of Kwanzaa, Dave.
Are you celebrating Kwanzaa? Because I'm not.
No.
Welcome back. I'm Dave.
I'm Rod.
Speaking of things that have me baffled, and apparently other people too, Phillip Rivers is playing quarterback in the National Football League.
That Phillip Rivers?
At Phillip Rivers, yes. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers is playing quarterback in the National Football League. And speaking of nostalgia, he's not doing bad. I mean, they're not winning games, but he doesn't really have much of a team around him. But he's making other teams work to beat them. The 49ers were like, damn, this guy's not bad.
Yeah. So I bet you Brady's all, man.
You know Tom Brady's looking at it and go, wait, if Phillip Rivers, who basically looks like the second coming of Sonny Jurgensen, can play, so can I.
Las Vegas needs a quarterback. Maybe I should.
Yes. Of course, the controversy over Phillip Rivers playing is not whether or not Phillip Rivers his arm is a noodle. It's not whether he should be out there. It's not whether the desperation of the Colts, who were at one point the number 1 seed and then lost both of their quarterbacks. And none of that is the controversy. You know what the controversy is, right?
Well, there could be other quarterbacks available, right?
Could be other quarterbacks available, including a significantly younger Colin Kaepernick, who apparently did not even get a phone call or an email or a text saying, hey, you interested?
Nobody wants that train wreck, right? I mean, it from a PR perspective, from an everything perspective, you're not going to go out and hire your top DEI candidate.
Well, he says, quote, if they were serious about winning, they would have called me, unquote.
Okay.
Which is funny because the thing I remember about Colin Kaepernick, except for one season when he wasn't even really the focal point, I mean, he was because he's the quarterback, but And yeah, they made it to the Super Bowl, but they lost. The thing I remember about it is his last game throwing 4 interceptions to, who was it, the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, something like that.
Rivers, look, I don't know, but it's one of those things that has the NFL all on Twitter right now.
Well, what's funny is, between Phillip Rivers and Colin Kaepernick, one of them's still a professional football player.
Exactly. Even though I guess today he's got all his high school, because he's a high school coach too.
Oh, is he?
And he's got his entire high school team at the stadium today. I'm watching the pregame shows. And see, here's the thing. And Rod, this may be true of you as well as a Raider fan. I'm a Broncos fan.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers is a Charger. I know he played for the Colts. I know he's playing for the Colts. Phillip Rivers is a Charger, and I hate the Chargers.
Okay, man.
Just like I hate the Raiders and I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, so I hate the Broncos and I hate the Chiefs, and I hate the Patriots and Tom Brady. Frickin' tuck roll.
But you know who I hate most of all?
Who do you hate most of all?
The man who has ruined everything. Every fucking thing there is.
Good.
You can't turn on this team's game without seeing ... her.
Oh.
On Christmas Day, when the Broncos were at the Chiefs, what do they show on the team? They show Taylor Swift coming into the stadium. And when Travis Kelce catches one pass, they show Taylor Swift cheering him on. Taylor Swift has ruined this frickin' thing, and now we got to have a Hallmark movie about it. Do you know that Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, the 6-8 Kansas City Chiefs, who are out of the playoffs, Travis Kelce, who has done nothing this year.
No, it's been a bad year for him.
Well, he's old. And he's not Phillip Rivers old. He's like, old.
Yeah.
Do you know he is the top vote getter for the Pro Bowl?
Oh, God, no, really?
Do you know why he's the top vote getter for the Pro Bowl?
They want Taylor Swift there.
They want Taylor Swift there. And so he has been getting votes after votes from all these Swifties who don't know diddly squat about football. But they know that Taylor's beau is a football player, and so they're voting for him. They're going on the NFL site and voting for him.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that just really pisses me off. It just infuriates me. And it makes me laugh even harder that the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because I hate the Chiefs. I've hated the Chiefs. You want to talk about nostalgia? Let's talk about nostalgia. Once upon a time, the Kansas City Chiefs were playing the Denver Broncos, and back in those days, we sucked. I mean, we were bad. We hadn't even had a winning season yet. And the Chiefs were just beating the snot out of us, because they always did back then. Back then, they were the AFL champs. And because it was the game of the week on NBC or whoever had the AFL contract, they were trying to make it look like it was, we need to make this look bad. You ever see Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell when they're doing the fights during the commercials because they don't want the commissioner to see him? It's that kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Great movie. Anyway, so the Chiefs scored another touchdown. The score is like 51-3 or something. I don't know. It was ridiculous. And the Chiefs informed the Broncos that they were just going to pooch onside kick the kickoff so the Broncos could get it closer in and maybe make this, And the Broncos basically said, fuck you, and refused to recover the onside kick. And so the Chiefs picked it up and ran it in because back then you could.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not even going to recover the kick you told us you were going to do. We hate you.
Yeah.
Hate you. Anyway, I hate the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce might be a nice guy for all I know. I do know that once upon a time he far more resembled his brother, and now he resembles Tom Brady because he's
a boy band,
yes.
A former boy band member.
Yes. By the way, I would never say on the air because you say things like that on the air, you get into trouble. So I'm a huge Flyers fan, as you know. I love the Flyers. Now, for me, the NHL, I never really start watching the NHL until New Year's Day. New Year's Day is the big, because that's the day they do the outdoor game, which for some reason, the outdoor hockey game is in Florida.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but apparently they're doing an outdoor hockey game in Florida,
So
which I will watch because
are they going to pump like liquid nitrogen underneath to
don't
keep
have
the
a
ice
clue
cold?
how they're going to do this.
If someone
They've had
falls on the ice
problems
and they freeze solid because it's so cold?
They've had problems with the outdoor game in other places in the north where it wasn't cold enough some days.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to? Anyway, I don't know. I love outdoor hockey. Outdoor hockey is something I grew up playing. One of my favorite holiday memories is going to visit my parents during the holidays in Bozeman, Montana. And two blocks from my parents' house was an outdoor hockey rink.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go play pickup hockey. The whole week and a half I was there, I'd play pickup hockey all day and all night. And that was where that's where I got hypothermia. Okay. Because I'm playing hockey and it's warm. I'm hot.
Yeah.
So I slowly start taking off all my sweaters and my jerseys and everything else. I'm down to my T-shirt and my shorts with my pads playing hockey in 12-degree weather.
Okay.
Which is great until you stop playing.
Yeah, and then it sets in real fast.
And then my T-shirt freezes to my body. And anyway, so I like outdoor hockey. And I do love the Flyers. And one of the things I've always liked about the Flyers, and I've been a Flyers fan since the 70s, is there's an attitude in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. If I were not a Dodger fan, I would be a Phillies fan. If I were not a Broncos fan, I would be an Eagles fan. In fact, if I could go back in time, I became a Giants fan, talking about nostalgia, New York Giants, because my father was a Packers fan. So, and in those days, you had the NFL and the AFL, so you could have two teams and not worry about it. So, of course, we were the Broncos. But my dad's a Packer fan. One of his friends played for the Packers, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I couldn't be a Packer fan.
Yeah.
So I went with the Giants. In retrospect, I should have gone with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Maybe I still can. I don't know. There's just something about the attitude in Philadelphia that I love. Philadelphia, which is a city I have never been to. That's right. Dave Does History. Dave has never been to Philadelphia.
Wow.
Independence Hall, First Capitol, never been there. It's on my list.
The Rocky Steps.
All that stuff. So the Flyers have a play-by-play announcer who was on radio because he does the radio side of the things. And having been a radio guy myself, I'm always fascinated by stuff like this because people ask me that on occasion. It's the worst thing you ever said live on the air.
And?
I don't know. Me personally said it on the air because as much as this podcast would surprise you, I don't really let loose with invectives as much as you might think that I would. Mm-hmm. But I did have, let's just call them bodily noises. The worst things that ever, yeah, the worst things were callers who would drop,
yeah,
especially in my first couple of weeks because I didn't know where the dump button was. I didn't know I had a producer and they didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, okay.
So I didn't know where all that stuff was. So my producer, who I won't name, but it rhymes with Heather, wasn't paying any attention at all. She was talking to somebody on the other side of the glass, and one of the callers dropped a bullshit bomb. And so I'm screaming on air, dump that, dump that, dump that. Because I'm thinking I'm going to get fined and fired and all that. Anyway, so apparently the Flyers radio announcer went to a commercial break.
Yeah.
And his producer, assistant, whatever, dropped something under the table and went down under the table to get it. And he made a comment about, hey, as long as you're down there, why don't you... And the producer immediately said, hey, I think we're still on the air. And everybody's going, well, you can't say this stuff on the air. So the Flyers had to suspend this guy. But then you go listen to the tape, and the tape is like, he throws it to the commercial, and it's 15, 20 seconds later before he does this. Meaning that as far as he knows, he's in commercial break. Now, again, it's your own fault. All microphones are live. You should treat them all as live, blah, blah, blah. I get all of that.
Yeah.
But that board op back at the station who didn't throw it to the commercial break because, I don't know, he was at the bathroom or talking to somebody, not paying attention, whatever. That guy.
I wouldn't work with him again.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Having done that for Zach Bayrudy for many years, No. Anyway, but it was really funny. Welcome back. I'm Rabbi Dave.
I am Friar Rod.
So this is the last show of 2025. Can you believe that?
It's amazing. We fit a lot into this year.
We did. Not only did we fit a lot into this year, but then we took, a month and a half off?
We did, yeah.
It doesn't seem like we did that. But we did.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened last week or 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago or last week? I don't remember.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. Or maybe it was last week. I'll have to look at the picture.
No, it can't be last week. Last week was 104. Merry Christmas, You Wankers was the episode title. We did 104.
Okay, yeah.
What the Frock the Musical is holding at 250, which is really good. I'm still really excited about that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Jesus 11.0, that episode 2 weeks ago, holy crap. People like that episode. I don't know why.
We got picked up somewhere. We had to have.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can figure. So that's the kind of stuff that encourages us. And the show has been growing. And especially since we came back, I am not anticipating in 2026. I am not anticipating any surgeries.
Okay.
I'm not planning to be out for anything this year at all. I know Cammie wants to go to the East Coast on vacation. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off, but
yeah.
But I'm not. And I know you're planning to go to the East Coast for some vacation time. But these are all things we can work around.
Yeah.
I couldn't work around, being unconscious.
Yeah,
couldn't do that. So there you go. But we have covered a lot of stuff. Rod, do you remember when you died this year?
My obituary, yeah.
Yeah, those are the kind of things we had fun with. We had fun with it. The musical just continues to be entertaining to me.
Yeah.
I cannot really express to you how much I enjoyed that, and just the whole idea of the creative element of that. And I was talking to, I think it was Bill the other day about, we get all this AI stuff, and probably we talk about it more than we should. I don't know. But for me, it has been a creative tool, and it has ignited creative fires that just have not existed in 20 years.
Yeah.
And I have just thoroughly enjoyed it. I continue to enjoy it. I continue to learn how to use it, how to adapt it, how to make it work the way I want it to work. And I'm just enjoying the crap out of it. And I'm assuming that's what's making the show better, because it is picking up in numbers.
Yeah.
We are a top 25 in the world podcast.
Indeed.
So
there should be a musical about that.
Like in my copious free times, I will do that.
Come on.
Now, that said, I did send out the merch to some special folks.
You did.
Pretty pissed off about it.
You should be.
Alexis says she's not sure how to help me with that. No kidding. So I got mine, and I was pretty excited about it. I posted on the thing, and after the whole thing about the copyright and blah 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 blah. So, for those of you that have received this, I apologize for the error on it. There is a mistake on the cup. I guarantee you that mistake is not in the master file. I guarantee it. I don't know how that happened. I have no freaking clue, but it's pissing me off. But I'm at this point now where I'm like, well,
you know what it is, Dave? It's someone who hates Jews.
It's got to be. It has to be anti-Semitic. That's what I should do. I should sue them for anti-Semitism.
It should be.
But at any rate, but I'm at the point right now where if I do a new iteration of it, I'll just get rid of all that stuff.
At least you're not an imam, right?
Yes. There is that. So anyway, I'm hoping to have that website up and going by the first week in January.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed the musical, right now all I've done is cups, although there is a problem with the cups. It's got a mistake on it.
There really is.
But nobody's going to notice. I mean, I literally had to sit here with Rod for 5 minutes before the show to get him to catch it.
I hadn't looked at it. I'm sure Dylan doesn't even realize his cup is.
What's weird is I noticed it as soon as I opened it. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm debating T-shirts. I'm debating bumper stickers. I do like the backside of the cup now where it just says "What the Frock." I do like that logo, where it's just the wording.
Yeah. Well, so that's not on the cup I received.
Right. It's not, because you got the first version, which wasn't on there when it still
was
had
supposed to be contraband.
Right. See, I don't know why they sent you that one. I was told that one was canceled.
Oh, well,
And now he gets it. And it's like,
I got two. Thank you.
I got to go back through my financial records and see what they charged me for, because I don't freaking know anymore. Anyway.
Well, there's a bank fee associated with that, so.
Probably is. I got to earn that $14 somehow. Anyway, so where do we go from here? Well, we're planning to be here all year. We're planning to grow and to continue on and to have a lot more fun and a lot more Goliardism and a lot more impact, I hope, in the future. And look, I don't want to be Joe Rogan. That's never been my goal.
No.
I don't need the headache of having thousands of people email me every week because they don't like something I said or because they do like something. Don't need that. But for the 1,000 or so of you that are listening, we love you. We're glad you're here, and we appreciate you very much.
Yeah, you can always send us feedback at WTF@whatthefrock.org, and at least I'll read it. Yeah.
Yes, because I'll just forward it to him. And let us know. Do you think we should bring back would the Facebook page be useful to you for a dedicated What the Frock Facebook page, or maybe a dedicated What the Frock Twitter account? I don't know. X account.
We could do that.
We could do either one of those, but we do have a website, whatthefrock.org, where you can comment to your heart's content. Well, not quite your heart's content, but as long as the moderation system approves it. So there you go. All right. On that note, may your new year be blessed, and I hope everybody had a great year. I certainly did. Rod, it's been fun, and looking forward to another 6 years of this.
Merry New Year, Dave. Have a Merry New Year.
Amen. This has been
What the Frock?
So grab your frock and come aboard. This nonsense can't be ignored. We joke, we gripe, we spin, we sing. While Rome burns on, we do our thing. Wait, what the frock is going on here? We may not know, but still we cheer. Raise